Men are often known for, defined by, and identify with their more aggressive traits. However, the truth is that men have a great capacity to be sensitive, caring, and benevolent. Men are connoisseurs of art and food. Men appreciate the aesthetic appearance of nature. Men enjoy listening to and creating music. They find humor in the absurdity of life and delight in the company of others.
There's two weevils, Doctor.
I do.
Which would you choose?
I would choose the right-hand weevil. It has significant advantage in both length and breadth.
There, I have you. You're completely dished. Do you not know that in the service, one must always choose the lesser of two weevils?
These are the aspects of the most hidden and secret part of masculinity. Today we will be discussing the archetype of the lover. This is my fifth and final video essay based on the book King, Warrior, Magician, Lover by Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette. In their book, they describe the 4 mature masculine archetypes based on the works of psychoanalyst Carl Jung. Jung believed that the human mind is not a blank slate upon birth, but that there is a basic code that exists within our unconscious that serves us through life. This code can be expressed in both our dreams and the reflections in our popular art. While men, in the archetypal forms of the warrior, magician, and king, are protectors to the weak and innocent, and that starts within ourselves. We hide away that part of us from the world that we perceive as weak and fragile. The lover is often without direction and lost in a dream or in a fantasy world, rather than dealing with the tasks at hand for the warrior or the necessary ordering of the king, for the pursuits of the lover can seem trivial and even counterproductive to the other archetypes. But that does not mean that the lover's goals are any less fulfilling. The lover is a necessary part of a man, and is also the least understood and represented in our modern culture. The lover is a deeply complex archetype, and to guide us through the many layers of love, I will be using 8 different categories of love described by the ancient Greeks. First, we'll be discussing Agape, selfless love, or brotherly love, any form of non-erotic love. The lover arises from the childhood archetype of the Oedipal child. As the name suggests, the Oedipal child's understanding of love is derived from his first love, that of his own mother. When the child breaks through to adult psychology, the boy must separate his love for other things from the love of his mother. The love of a mother is a universal trait in all humans. And this love can also be the basis for our spirituality. For the love of a particular deity can be the basis for a man's religion.
At the birth of the sun, and of his brother the moon, their mother died. So the sun gave to the earth her body, from which was to spring all life. And he drew forth from her breast the stars. The stars he threw into the night sky to remind him of her soul. So there's the Cameron's monument. My folks do, I guess.
The lover is especially attuned to nature. The lover can see himself in every living creature. He can see that spark that exists within a living thing. The lover values this spark above all else. This is the part of a man that must be turned off at certain times to allow the warrior to fight and kill others, or for a hunter to do what he must in order to continue to survive.
See, to me, there never was any difference.
None at all.
None at all. Of course, I haven't known that many freed men, but those I knew in Bangor, Portland. You look in the eye, there was a man. There was a divine spark, as my mother used to call it. That's all there is to it. Races upon men.
Next is Ludus, playful love. Friendship stage. The first step in any fun-loving relationship often starts out with joyful play and teasing. This is true in all relationships. Children play with each other as an expression of their affection towards one another. This type of love takes creativity, which is the domain of the lover. We attend parties, we gather with friends in a celebration of life and the appreciation of the other people that surround us. The lover revels in creating humorous jokes as much as he enjoys creating relationships with those who share his interests.
Yeah, I like it. It is a good plan until her water breaks all over Robert De Niro's shoes. My shoes! Hey, there's all this baby goo on it. These shoes? Hey, on these shoes?
This is a form of playfulness that exists within us and can be the entire basis for a platonic relationship. In long relationships, this type of love can fade away if not attended to. Happy, long-running marriages can be measured in the amount of playfulness one shows to their partner. Some of these relationships never break out of this phase, despite one of the participants' desires to do so.
I have a number of men friends, and there is no sex involved.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You only think you do.
You're saying I'm having sex with these men without my knowledge?
No, what I'm saying is they all want to have sex with you.
They do not.
Do too.
They do not.
This is happily called the friend zone.
What's the friend zone? See, when a girl decides that you're her friend, you're no longer a dating option. You become a complete non-sexual entity in her.
It is a reminder, while we cannot control who we fall in love with, we also cannot control who falls in love with us. Springing from Ludus is Eros. This is the romantic and sensual love. The lover's purpose is to create relationships, create purpose in life, and ultimate objective, procreation, to continue the existence and advancement of our species and all life. To do this, the lover is drawn to a mate he finds has the qualities that he most enjoys in the world, in the hopes that these qualities will take hold in future generations.
What I love about Nicole, she makes people feel comfortable about even embarrassing things.
Hey, you look like you care about animals.
She really listens when someone is talking.
I love about Charlie. Charlie is undaunted.
Charlie eats like he's trying to get it over with and like there won't be enough food for everyone. A sandwich is to be
Well, this example can seem limited to couples of opposite gender. I don't see it that way. To love someone is to want them to thrive and to live on and pass on qualities that you admire in others.
We must fight, and not only in the Castro.
And that can be done without physical procreating. It can be accomplished through adoption, through fellowship and mentorship of others.
You can't. You'll die.
We are
While the creation of human life is naturally the domain of the female, the male lover is compelled to create things of beauty to add to the world. He toils away in trying to make things perfect, and he can be known to become possessive of his creations.
Here. It's all right here in my noodle. The rest is just scribbling.
When a lover discovers a new subject that he finds intriguing, he can become obsessed with it.
I just want to take another look at you.
Wanting to surround himself with it and to build his life around that which he appreciates. When men fall in love with something, they can equate their love of something to the attraction that they feel for the opposite sex. This is where the mind intermingles the creation of art and the procreation and continuation of life, for the lover is the creator of life.
By the way, you know what? Have you noticed, whenever we're around baseball, all you talk about is pussy? Now we're actually around a few potentially interesting young women. All you talk about is baseball. It's a little fucked up!
The lover needs the courage of the warrior to approach somebody that he desires.
What? You're an idiot. I've been sitting over there for 45 minutes waiting for you to come and talk to me.
But he cannot allow the warrior to view the thing he loves as a prize to be won or a thing to be conquered.
I'm
I'm not a foreman in one of your mills that you can command. I'm your fiancé.
My fiancé! Yes, you are, and my wife in practice, if not yet by law, so you will honor me. You will honor me the way a wife is required to honor her husband. Because I will not permit her to fool you.
The lover truly wants his lover to be as it is, as he loves it.
Break free. Maybe not right away because you're strong, but sooner or later that fire that I love about you, Rose, that fire is gonna burn out.
Taken to an extreme, the lover would wish to preserve this love and not allow it to change. But that would also destroy the thing he loves. For if you truly love something, you must be willing to let it go, because sometimes that is the only way it can survive.
We said it. We said it at the time on the phone.
Honey, let me finish. Sorry, I keep saying that. I thought that if Henry was happy here and my show continued, that we might do LA for a while.
I was not privy to that thought process.
The only reason we didn't live here is because you can't imagine desires other than your own. Unless they're forced on you.
We see here that love is a great power for creation and the continued survival of life, but it can also be destructive. While it is love that creates the children that will continue our species' survival in the world, it is also the love of our fellow man that allows us to live in peace and allows us to work together to better our chances of survival. The destructive force of the lover could lead to the shadow lover. This could be considered mania or obsessive love. More than any other shadow I've discussed in my previous videos, I'm sure people are familiar with the shadow of the lover archetype. The shadow of the lover is separated by two poles. An active one, known as the addicted lover, and the passive one, known as the impotent lover.
You didn't love me as much as I loved you.
What does that have to do with LA?
The addict is well represented in our pop culture. It is an affliction that is particularly represented as masculine. The addict is obsessed with things he loves and cannot get enough of them. The addict is characteristically lost and alone in the world. He is not the master of his fate. His addiction to one thing or another is destroying him. If he were truly in love with something, that thing would fill him with purpose and meaning, but instead that thing is only leading to his own destruction. We often see the addict portrayed as addicted to drugs or alcohol. The overwhelming addiction to mind-altering substances is a byproduct of the loss and loneliness one feels in a world without a center. In this, the lover is hiding from the world, himself, and the other archetypes. A man possessed by the addict might revert back to child psychology.
And will you remember the homework assignment, the 3 things that I wanted you to write down? Jack, hey.
Sorry, I'm late.
In boy psychology, the addict is happily named the mama's boy. As I stated, the love for one's mother is universal in children. In fact, our very notion of love throughout our lives always bears some similarities to our original love for our mother. But the man trying to escape the addict will need to confront this aspect of himself and emerge from it as he emerged from the hero stage of life.
Jack, I'm an alcoholic.
Jack.
Drug addict.
Many addiction recovery programs center around this journey. Remember that the shadow is bipolar. And when the addict is not actively engaged in his addiction, a man can be trapped in the negative pole of the lover's shadow.
I want to hear you say that you don't love me. Because if you say that...
He is impotent, unable to connect with others, lost, alone, and without guidance. He cannot find meaning in his own existence.
I don't love you.
He is incapable of loving someone. He is not able to care for himself and will often have trouble holding down a job or maintaining relationships. While the addict is lost in his passion for soothing himself, the impotent lover is unable to find passion in anything. He is unable to love anything, as he is unable to love himself.
What's that you're playing?
Oh, just a little something on my own.
Oh, stop it. You know what I want to hear.
No, I don't.
You played it for her, you play it for me.
Well, I don't think I can remember.
If she can stand it, I can. Play it.
Yes, boss.
The addict is eternally restless, constantly searching for his next conquest, his next adventure, never satisfied with what he has or what he has done. He wants more.
To expand. You want more?
The addicted lover constantly seeks the new sexual partners and can become obsessed with pornography.
Was it just once? Oh, okay. So she caught you once, which is why you're watching it on your phone at school, because you're hiding it from her. Then she caught you the second time. I don't know. Am I right? I'm just guessing, but... Oh, God. You're like a junkie. You can't stop. How often do you watch it?
Every guy watches porn every day.
Oh, all right. When was the last time you went a day without it?
To combat the shadow lover, a man must find time and place to engage with his passions. It is also necessary to have a constructive and creative output that he shares with others. In a community setting, a lover can immerse himself in not only his passions, but in mutual respect of other people who value his creations and contributions to his world. The lover needs validation and can feel remorse when the love of his own creations is not validated.
I am not needy. I don't care what you think. You're not getting to me. I'm not needy. Chocolate lava cake is not just undercooked chocolate cake. That's not what makes the center molten.
He can be left feeling alone and empty, rejected, and fall back on the destructive side of the lover archetype.
Is this boring to you?
No, I like it.
Yeah, well, I love it. Everything that's good that's happened to me in my life came because of that.
This leads to Philautia, self-love. For no man can truly love another unless they are willing to love themselves. The lover is a part of a man that drives his life and thus his survival. In this, he is connected to all other living things, for all other things simply want to exist as he does. This makes the lover sensitive to the world around him and allows him to feel sympathy and empathy. The lover in his true form is interconnected to all life. The lover in its fullest is in complete peace with himself and nature. He understands his place in the world and is content to just exist. It is the lover that gives us a sense of meaning and purpose. The lover can find a deeper meaning in his job and the completion of everyday tasks.
As you wish.
As an expression of his love for those around him.
That day, she was amazed to discover that when he was saying, "as you wish," what he meant was, "I love you."
In dissecting what the primary objectives is for the four major archetypes, the outline of what masculinity is takes shape. The warrior establishes dominance and presence. The king provides order, fertility, and blessing. A magician guides us through life. And the lover creates passion. Presence, ordering, fertility, guidance, passion. This leaves to Storge, familiar love, memories. The lover enjoys quiet walks in nature and the observation of the natural world. The lover can see a part of themselves in every animal, plant, and cool breeze. He feels intertwined with nature as he is a part of that world that continues to exist. This type of love can also be the basis for love of one's home, tribe, or country. Pride in one's country is the basis for the warrior's courage in battle.
About how someone offered him a boat cloak on a cold night. And he said no, he didn't need it. He was quite warm. His zeal for king and country kept him warm. I know it sounds absurd, and work from another man would cry out, "Oh, what pitiful stuff," and dismiss it as mere enthusiasm. But with Nelson, you felt your heart glow.
For so much of a person's passions and loves are rooted in this nostalgia of childhood.
Benjamin Franklin Rodriguez became a neighborhood legend. It was in the greatest summer of my life when he taught me how to play baseball, and he became my best friend. And he got me out of the biggest pickle I'd ever be in.
Men can often feel a particularly rigid, undying love for their favorite sport and sports team. Then there is Philia, also known as affectionate love. This is the love of one's own mind, or psyche. This is the love that exists between two equals. It is a special moment in one's life when they find their equal. Just as couples of equal attractiveness tend to find their equal in the world to mate with, people of equal intelligence and wisdom do the same. This is harder to achieve because it takes quite a bit of work to find your equal in the mind as well as the body. But more than just an equal, a man wants someone who will challenge him to prove his worth in this world.
I can't believe you changed it again.
Oh, I changed it a little bit.
Yeah, why?
I just played it the way Busoni would have played it if he'd altered Liszt's version.
And what is wrong with Bach, the way Bach would have played Bach's
Bach never wrote it for the guitar. In fact, we're not even sure Bach wrote it at all.
Forget I asked.
Finally, there is Pragma, enduring love. This type of love is in our unconscious. It's etherical. This type of love is one that can only be earned through years of committed endurance and presence of being. This is a love that has aged like a bottle of wine over so many years.
We both looked at each other, and it was just as though not a single day had gone by.
She was just as beautiful as she was.
There's no way to replicate that same style and flavor other than to put in the work and endure a life well lived together as one. There are so many stories of couples who have lived side by side for a long period of time and then seem to pass away within a short period of time of each other. This is the closest example of physical manifestation of pragma that you can observe. The lover archetype can often work against the other archetypes. The lover cannot control what his passion is. His love of himself and life are contrary to the destructive ways of the warrior. A lover cares not for the order and boundaries set forth by the king, and the lover seeks no counsel on his passions.
Must complete the training.
I can't keep the vision out of my head. They're my friends. I gotta help them.
You must not go.
But Han and Leia will die if I don't.
You don't know that.
However, the lover is also a great unifier of the archetypes. The purpose of the king, the warrior, and the magician are all interwoven. The warrior serves the king blesses the warrior, and the magician counsels the king, and so on. The lover is the meaning that binds those three together. It is for love of king and country that the warrior serves.
England is under threat of invasion. And though we be on the far side of the world, this ship is our home. This ship is England.
And the lover must keep him from being sadistic or masochistic, reminding him that he loves himself and he is worthy of the love of others. It's for the love of his family and people that the king rules justly and with kindness and generosity. And it is with love of all people that the magician guides lost souls to find their inner lover, to find their inner passions, and guide them through life as well.
It's a pity Bilbo didn't kill him when he had the chance.
Pity. It was pity that stayed Bilbo's hand. Many that live deserve death. Some that die deserve life.
maybe you could come over and read it again to me tomorrow.
As you wish.
This has been a production of Minimum Effort Media. If you enjoyed this video, please check out the playlist for the other 4 major archetypes, as well as the child psychology archetype. If you'd like to see more videos, please subscribe. Also, like and comment if you feel it is appropriate. Thank you for watching.